Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're really getting into something fascinating. It's this intersection of tech, creativity, and, well, a very specific market need. Imagine this, right? You check your email, and there it is. Your June predictions for coastal streetwear trends. Spot on. Our new line just launched, and it's like flying off the shelves. That's not just luck. It's the kind of real impact we're exploring today. We're talking about an AI-powered fashion trend prediction newsletter, but it's specifically designed for, the small guys, the indie fashion brands. This whole deep dive is about how cutting-edge AI can tackle a real business problem for those underdogs. So let's maybe unpack the current scene a bit. We know the big players, right? Major retailers, high-end designers, they already spend a ton. We're talking thousands every single month on these fancy trend forecasting services. They need that edge.
Exactly. And that's precisely the challenge for the smaller brands, the independents. They just can't afford those prices. It's way out of reach. And that leaves this huge gap in the market, a massive opportunity, really. This is where an AI service can really step in. It uses machine learning to chew through just vast amounts of data, different kinds of data too. Think about like social media chatter, what people are searching for on Google, those TikTok hashtags that blow up, even Shopify sales data in aggregate, and tiny little micro trends you might see on runways. It pulls it all together.
Wow, okay. That sounds like a fire hose of information, though. How does it make that usable? For
Right.
someone actually running a small brand, is it just raw numbers?
No, that's the key. It's not about raw data dumps. The AI distills it. It turns it into clear, actionable forecasts, stuff you can actually use. And it gets delivered right to subscribers. Think of it less like complex code and more like a smart system that spots patterns. It might see like a cluster of conversations here, some weird search terms there, a few micro-influencers talking about the same thing, and it flags that as a potential new aesthetic way before it hits the mainstream. That's the pattern recognition. And the output. It's basically a weekly roadmap. Here's what's bubbling up. Here's what you might want to do.
That sounds really powerful. But, like, zooming out, is the market actually asking for this? Is there real demand for AI help in fashion?
Oh, absolutely. The demand is definitely there. And it's not just theoretical. We're seeing it in data, insights from places like Reddit, where entrepreneurs hang out, and market analyses. They show something like 8 out of 10 consumers actually want AI help discovering styles. And crucially, the tools that do this, they're really underrepresented for smaller brands. It's a wide open space.
Okay, so the hyper niche focus is the secret sauce then.
Right.
How do you turn that into a real business? What does the newsletter actually look like?
Right, so the structure is designed to grow. It starts with 2 tiers. First, a free teaser. Gives you those little bite-sized insights, enough to get you interested, right?
Yeah.
Then there's the premium paid tier. And that's where the real deep value is. This is for the really specific niche predictions. Things like, I don't know, eco sportswear for Gen Z maybe, or sustainable swimwear. Really targeted stuff.
And what's in that premium tier that makes it worth paying for, beyond just the basic forecast?
Well, the premium goes much deeper. It's not just this trend is happening.
Oh,
You get things like forecast scoring, basically how confident the AI is about a trend taking off. You get specific color palettes to consider, actual links to micro-influencers who are already playing in that space, and even early access to what we call trend rubrics.
trend rubrics. What are those exactly?
They're sort of the detailed frameworks,
Yeah.
the criteria the AI uses to define and score the trends. So you get a better understanding of why it's considered a trend. Helps you act with more confidence.
Gotcha. So subscriptions are the base, but what about other ways to make money? Can you layer other things on top?
Oh yeah, definitely. The monetization isn't just subscriptions. That's just the start. You can weave in affiliate links pretty seamlessly. Maybe links to fabric suppliers that fit a trend forecast, or stock photo kits with the right vibe. There's also real potential for consulting upsells, offering more tailored advice. And another one is branded trend downloads. Companies can buy specific reports to share internally. That could be quite lucrative.
That's smart. Diversifying the income. And speaking of income, profitability. Is this model genuinely lean? Or are there hidden costs?
Its inherent profitability is actually one of the biggest pluses.
Yeah.
The overhead is remarkably low. You're not building like a giant data center or hiring scores of analysts. You need pretty minimal stuff.
Right.
A good newsletter platform, yeah. Access to some scraping APIs, social listening tools. These are basically automated ways to gather that public data from Instagram, TikTok, search engines, finding those little signals. So yeah, it's designed to be pretty lean and agile.
And being lean isn't just about saving money, is it? It sounds like it actually helps it stand out. Because you're agile, you can carve out that unique niche, unlike the big, broad services.
Exactly. That's a huge part of it. The high differentiation is key. Those big forecasting services, they cast a really wide net, right? This model is all about specializing, hyper niche verticals. And that focus isn't just, unique, it's strategically smart. It plays on the fact that smaller brands can move faster than the giants. By catching these micro trends early, they can design and launch collections months before the big retailers even notice. Capture those emerging markets quickly.
So they're getting advice tailored exactly for their corner of the fashion world.
Precisely. Not generic stuff. Highly relevant insights.
Okay, this sounds really promising. So if someone listening is thinking, hey, I could do this, what are the first concrete steps? How do you go from idea to, well, doing it?
It's actually more straightforward than you might think to get started. First step. Pick just 2 or 3 niche sectors to focus on. Areas you're passionate about, where you see potential, like you mentioned, maybe sustainable swim or plus-size streetwear, or perhaps techwear accessories. Don't try to, boil the ocean right away. Start focused.
Right, focus first. Then what about the tech side? How does that work without getting, totally bogged down in complex AI stuff?
Well, you're basically feeding data from social media, search trends, those little runway events, mentions by small influencers into what you could call a lightweight AI pipeline or clustering system. Think of it like a smart filter, really. It sifts through all the noise online. And it spots those emerging patterns that are maybe too subtle or too scattered for a person to easily catch.
Okay, so it finds the patterns. Then you need to package that up, right, into that weekly digest. What needs to be in there to make it truly useful?
Yeah, the digest has got to be more than just a list of buzzwords. You need clear trend names, like concise definitions. What does this mean? You need some demand signals, proof points, like specific search term spikes or hashtag usage going up. And ideally, even some example micro-campaign ideas, little things brands can try out right away. It needs to be a roadmap.
A roadmap, I like that. And for the launch, getting it out there initially, what's a good approach?
A smart way to launch is probably publishing a free sample first. Yeah. Let people see the value, no strings attached, and then try to onboard a small group of beta subscribers.
Yeah.
Get them using it. Their feedback early on is absolutely gold, helps you refine everything before you go wider, proves the concept.
Okay, so you get that foundation built. Then what? The potential for scaling, for deeper engagement. Seems pretty big. What comes next?
Oh, it's huge. Beyond the weekly newsletter, you could start offering, say, premium trend deep dives. Go really in-depth on specific forecasts, maybe create video breakdowns, visual explanations of the trends. That could be really engaging. Or even host webinars, with Q&A sessions. Turn it from just a newsletter into more of a community hub. Let brands interact.
And this basic idea, it feels like it could work beyond just fashion, couldn't it?
Absolutely. The core model is pretty adaptable. You could expand into adjacent niches pretty easily. Imagine doing this for beauty ingredients, spotting the next big thing in skincare, or even vegan food aesthetics, finding visual trends in how plant-based food is presented. The principle's the same. Find trends in digital data.
And thinking even bigger, maybe creating an actual tool, a dashboard.
Yeah, for sure. More advanced scaling could definitely involve building a tool or a dashboard. Paying brands could maybe input their own keywords, visualize trend trajectories themselves, see the data move in real time. Yeah. That takes it beyond a newsletter into a proper platform.
Wow. And the ultimate potential.
Well, ultimately, you could potentially license these niche trend insights to larger fashion consultancies, maybe even directly to the big retailers themselves. It shows how you can start really lean but build something with massive value and impact, empowering those faster, smaller players.
So there you have it. An AI-powered fashion trend prediction newsletter aimed squarely at small and indie brands. It's quite a blend, isn't it? Cutting-edge AI, deep market understanding, and smart content monetization.
Yeah, it's really about carving out that valuable niche, building a recurring income stream by leveraging tech to help the underdog compete.
So for any content creators, marketers, maybe fashion fanatics listening, this model really lets you start lean and scale fast. It's an exciting prospect. And here's something to think about. How might using these kinds of niche AI-driven insights empower not just businesses, but maybe individual creativity too in unexpected ways? Definitely something to ponder. We'll catch you on the next deep dive.